But there are a lot of targets that Fate can blow up. If he gets an early lead with this Lee Sin pick that's with him, and then he starts finding AD carries, finding the top laner Graves, like he finds a Volibear, he's actually going to be happy with it. So,
not to mention that if Renata's pushed up and there's a good gank timing from Ellen, she will explode. Like, she just does not have much of a health bar. So some opportunities here for Quantum Freaks as we hop onto the Rift here for game number 1. As on the bottom lane, it is going to be the slight range advantage for the Jinx. Is good. Chains are going to connect. Karis, yeah, going to have to flash to get out of the way of that one. Orbit Deception is going to get dodged. And the flash forward from the LeBlanc. Fate really putting his foot down in this matchup early.
And this is where Karis has had his, freest time, generally speaking, is in the early laning phase. And goes in for the distortion. Follows here closely, hits the chains.
딜고 좀 많이 세게 나온다.
Question mark ping. And then flashes.
Looked way too casual. Just way too casual. Well, Ellum, he's not going to go for the flashless Ahri. He's looking to try and help out Keen in this matchup. There is the knockback, and this is looking all too easy as well. Ellum is even going to be able to safeguard over to help make sure that he can get the last bit of damage before the execute.
Really well placed, slow there from Keen to start it all up. Dudu had so many options, but when he hit the follow-up body slam, Dudu was basically guaranteed dead. Ellen played it very slow, safeguarded in just to guarantee he was able to get position. Not going to make it about hitting or missing that Q.
Herald control, so we're just going to focus elsewhere, where you guys are not.
Volibear dive, the first one. See if Teddy could survive this. He has level 6.
Yeah, and we are going to be able to turn this tower off if we want to, but not if OnFleek just straight up dies. He tries to ult to get himself out, but you ain't bailing him out of that one. That's way too expensive. As HLE Esports try and run away, but that was possibly caught out of position. Flash and kick available for Ellum. They're not wanting to go for it, not wanting to bite off more than they can potentially chew without full information. As now Fate has decided that he wants to come in. Lands the Mimic Chain onto the Volibear, and it's another Solar Flare there as well. That was really cute. Ellum baiting out the ultimate there, I guess.
That's a guaranteed. Somebody's positioning here. A little bit suspect.
Chain is going to connect here, and Fate just happy to do it right in front of the rest of the HLE Esports teammates. Keen's going to get inside track as well as he moves down towards Shirley. Fate over the wall once again. Another brilliant Solar Flare for Hoyt. As Ellum dives in, he will be almost taken down. Yes, it's OnFleek that manages to get that one, and now all of the AoE damage is in there. Keen is very tanky. Teddy, though, he's at full health, and that's where you've got a problem, HLE. The Qs rain forward, and this is called a Zeri problem, ladies and gentlemen, and it's called Teddy.
Yep, and this is the early game Teddy Zeri. Let's wait and see how those kills he just picked up are going to affect this mid game. Yeah, I mean, we're like really nitpicking.
Inexcusable. Inexcusable. As Dudu is now looking for said Keen. Keen probably just a bit frustrated with the Graves right now. As the body slam came down, Jonas Strong is going to avoid us. Seeing whether it missed or hit. As now Teddy and Ellum thinking about going in on the Graves, and this is the problem, right? He is a split push champion that cannot split push anymore. Good kickback onto OnFleek, who's just getting straight up bullied. Didn't have his ulti available, and that's exactly what happens. You just press your Q button a whole bunch of times. The Super Mega Death Rockets come through here as OnFleek. He's running really quickly, but there's a body slam there. Pop goes the teddy bear, and he just exits the fight. Nothing he could do at all. Keen's gonna get his hand shook, but he's not really shaking after that. As Vista at 50%, Keen to come on over and just deny him getting anywhere near this Baron.
That's what we call a successful delay of Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now he's fighting Hoyt.
Hoyt's like, I can win this 1v1, that's how behind you are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to win the 1v1, but I don't think
it's not a 1v1.
Yeah, this is real rough. Good body slam there from Keen. The flash does get him out, but that ain't a party cast, that is a death cask. Or a casket. That would have been a much better joke.
Ooh, yeah, that would have
been a way better joke.
Use that one next time. I like that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to, though, because it's starting to feel like we're beating a dead bear, right? It's not it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, because of, like, you went back to this earlier about the vision clearing and how vulnerable he is, he has a more realistic way to get out, even if he doesn't. He has a more realistic option to get out. Like, he's the brunt of, I think, a lot of the problems that HLE Esports are facing, because he has to do something.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, there's not a lot of options that he has. It's just Just what happens when this style of composition gets so far ahead. Quandong Freaks played it very, very well. Great little mini stun into the wall there, but Vista was very, very dead in that situation. Teddy was tanking up a turret for an obscene amount of time. As Fate is going to run after Karis, goes straight into a charm, but Karis unfortunately does absolutely no damage. And so therefore Fate gets away. And now it's probably just going to be the end of the game. Quandong Freaks making absolutely short work of Harmalife Esports here. They're bearing down on these Nexus turrets. Play to the Ruined King. Going to be used there onto Dudu. Trying to help his team. Great little knockback with the cask. And Dudu and Karis just going to have to watch from the fountain as their Nexus erupts. Quandong Freaks, full control this entire game long. Absolutely fantastic stuff. That was a great little play there from Elam as well in the end, as no one's really going berserk. Super Mega Death Rocket sails wide and the Nexus will fall.
Nearly tripling Samdi's damage this game because he was given a free lane. He was able to take a lot of early gold around objective fights due to those really nice setups. For just 1 second, I considered, like, what would it be like if Volibear was top and Graves was jungle on this? I think it'd be worse. So yeah, I think we came to the conclusion very fast that was going to be a swap. But I was like, maybe no.
On his rise, right? This is definitely one of his better picks in that mid lane. I'm not expecting him to get solo killed this time around.
Freak showing too much respect.
Yeah, they do have a lot of vision, as once again, Quick Draw, seen as quite a good ability.
Question mark pings twice, and Dudu is still way too far up.
Yeah,
and he's going to walk into the bush!
Phase check. Oh,
They pinged it! They pinged it several times, Dudu!
That's not what you
man!
He is going to be out of collateral damage, but the flash comes in, and Keen finishes that one off. It's going to be feeling real good here for Keen, as we're going to check this one out once again.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to follow him.
Yeah, Blast goes him back in the open arms of the Jax.
Doesn't say anything else after that.
Well, got a bit of a dive happening here towards the bottom side. Teddy flashes his way out. Hoyt's like, where's my friends? But Ellen's going to turn up. Your friends are here! Don't you worry about it! As Harmalife Esports are going to make their way out. The curtain call is going to come through here as Karis is going to tank that one up. Tank Rise. Brilliant. As Charm is going to connect, but the cleanse is going to be there. Thankfully, Unsealed Spellbook exists.
So, Elam has just been relegated to have no options with this Herald. You know, his first opportunity was wasted.
Yeah, he's got to use it soon, though, as now Karis going to get charmed up. That's the Onslaught of Shadows as Keen with the inside track gets the flash out of Karis. Fate, does he have another charm is the question. Orbit Deception goes wide. And there is the Rift Herald. Shelly comes down in the middle of this one. 25 seconds on these plates. Can she actually get a charge? And the answer is going to be absolutely yes.
Just as she's timing out, so not the greatest charge or most gold-efficient way to do this ever, but it does work out. You know, Dudu is hanging on for dear life, and it's good enough here so far. Let's see if Elam can make this gank work as old as just now coming up.
Okay. Maybe a little bit of a cast to curse, as unfortunately Dudu's going to die underneath that turret, but the favor is going to be returned on the bottom side. Samdi takes down that outer as well, and the Jax is going to go home. So that is going to be Trinity Force time for the Jax.
Yeah, I think I may have cast or cursed Dudu, but this time Elam finds the angle, comes in there, picks him off, and they needed this so badly. You know, if they weren't going to take the Drake, they needed to force this play to happen.
Can actually make it over if he wants to, but they decide not to go for it as the horse is going to get knocked up. Nothing Elam can do. He's just going to walk out. He's going to survive. Surprisingly enough, as Keen with the Grandmaster's Might running, keeps himself alive. The Devour comes in from Hoyt. And Quandong Freaks play a really nice defensive game, but there was no reason for them to be there at all.
Exactly. And now Keen could be killing a turret right now.
They were going to get that little stun onto OnFleet. Nailed that.
If Keen doesn't come here, he gets a turret instead. But because they wanted to force this fight super hard.
Just amazing. Just throwing those the trophies. As Dudu's going to have to flash, but he'll get knocked back, and that is a very dead Graves. Not a lot that you can do. He gets himself a shield, but I think Leaf Strike will be back up again, and he doesn't even need it. Uses that to escape instead. So Quandong Freaks, they grab another kill onto the Graves.
Teleport coming in.
Yeah, walking together. Not wanting to face check that brush is Fate with the Foxfire. Speeds himself up back into that brush. Good little charm, but Fate is going to get knocked up. Devour has to be used very early in this fight as Hoyt eats the Grey Health, but he's also going to eat dirt afterwards. And that means that they don't have their catfish for this next fight. And that means that Ocean Soul is very, very likely here for Hanwha Life Esports.
There's almost no way to win this one without him.
Yeah.
Kwangdong are just going to have to give this one up, but can they? Realistically, I don't think so. It's such a lose-lose situation here.
They haven't checked the flank very well at all. So Keen sitting on this control ward here, completely unbeknownst to that of Hanwha Life Esports. So he can wrap around and be the hero, but this control ward in this brush, definitely good value. As Keen starting off the fight by himself. In goes Elam, eventually to try and answer, but he's just going to die. The horse unable to do anything at all. Keen tries to get out of there. He's way too low health to be able to get anything done now in the Realm Warp just to finish off these kills. Hoyt will turn up way too late. And Kwangdong Freaks, if you're going to engage, do it together, please.
I mean,
Kwangdong Freaks just looking a little bit lost, honestly, in this game. It's such a pivot from what we saw. The domination, the power in game number 1.
And they can't lean on Teddy in these team fights because he's playing Jhin and he's not ahead, right? A fed Jhin can carry the way that Teddy often does, but a Jhin who's even or behind is reliant on his team.
Oh, Fate dives on in. They get a nice little deadly flourish there as Kane on the flank, but once again, it's all mistimed. And Elam's just going to explode before anything can happen. Leap strike to get the Jax out of there.
And there's just no weak points in this phalanx, the Hanwha Life Esports setup. With the 4-man here, the 4-1, Graves is pushing the side lane, but you're going into a Nautilus, you're going to a Tank Rise who has Everfrost, you're running into Volibear who could stun you, Nautilus.
The little minions, Jonah Strong, making sure that we know who the MVPs are for the mid lane. Inhibitors go down mid and top lane. Hanwha Life Esports pushing in for the win here at 28 minutes, returning the favor of what Kwangdong Freaks provided them, and also helping out all of the Fredit Brion fans that are in the chat today. Curtain call, Kwangdong Freaks looking for that one last ditch effort. Good hook connects onto Keen, who avoids a lot of damage with the counter-strike, but also still takes a whole lot. And this is full base destruction.
There's now all 3 inhibitors down. They can just walk away, knowing the inhibitor timing gives them Elder Prio's Fate's in trouble.
Yeah, that's the ulti forward from OnFleek. And Keen is going to be here, so OnFleek may have overextended. He is likely going to die, yep. Booped there with the Empower, now 4 versus 5. And Keen trying to get some work done. Deadly Flourish goes wide, they get the Featherstorm pretty early. Decent charm, but the cleanse is going to be there. Kwangdong, can you punish further? Because you have to. Your base is getting obliterated.
Yeah, they have to both juggle this base defense and the kills here, and they have to do it fast.
Yeah, well, they're trying to turn it now as in goes the stun. Keen tries to sacrifice himself for the good of the team as now Fate dives on in as well. Dudu gets into the backline, though, and Teddy just gets destroyed. There's no way they can fight this one out. Teleports to come through, and this game is over. We are going to game number 3. Hanwha Life Esports will not go quietly into this night.
Hanwha Life Esports bringing us to a 3rd game here. Great macro play. Despite Dudu being punished in the top lane, that Kwangdong Freaks found themselves in where he was actually Everfrosting and queuing the minions that were actually tearing his base apart like non-stop. Attack damage in your roster that way.
Whoa!
I don't know about this one.
This feels less good because there is, like we were saying, a fair bit of magic damage available. But the Malphite adds to your heart engage, right? You got a mountain and a bear and a bird all dashing towards you. Plus the fox, I guess. She's going to be getting in there. Going to have some trouble in the lane phase up against this cannon. It was Cannon's W that was buffed. And so that means that now the on-hit aspect of it is going to have that little bit more of that magic punch.
Yeah. But, Ellen will see on Fleek here, and we'll actually be able to get the scuttle guaranteed with Fate having Prio. So not a lot on Fleek can do at the moment. He is definitely 100% seen, and Fate is not afraid of him. He's just going to W and run through the lane.
Yep.
He's like, I'm going to get the other scuttle.
Yeah,
he's going to get the other scuttle.
Yeah, he is. so like he managed to get the double scuttle in the last game, but that's not going to happen this time around, as we've got Ellen with a bit of a wrap around here. Kind of a sitting rock. Yeah, but there's not much of a wave.
This is the other problem with announcing you're going bottom, is Ellen has an opportunity here with Keen.
Yeah, they're looking to try and force this one. There is so much vision for Kwangdong Freaks moving up this river.
The wave is being held.
Yeah, Marks of the Storm now being layered as well as Elm's down extraordinarily low. The flash comes in, good stun, and they secure it. There is the transition, and that is going to mean that it's a clean dive for Kwangdong Freaks. Much better look here going into game.
Yeah, and they're just really cutting this one down as we're going to go back to this vision check. Just barely, you know, he has vision of the rotation up, but he doesn't actually see the Viego on the mini map, because you could see the mist if you were looking at that map, at that part of the map on your screen, but you wouldn't have seen the icon on the mini map because he's off vision. As really well played here from LM. There was a ward there, but Viego's just able to sneak through.
But because Kwangdong Freaks have so much information, they were able to move Teddy here towards the bottom side, so it's not going to be free places. This could be a free pick, and there was no unbreakable will. That is just a pick off, and that might have been what Humble Life needed.
On champions who are caught out, and as you mentioned, Hoyt level 5 doesn't have ult. Teddy a little bit slow on the escape.
Yeah, he wants to try and skate this one out, but the quickness comes in. The flash is down as well as Teddy's going to ult. Now on fleek under the turret. He was unable to turn it off, I think. Or it just came back alive again, and he just took way too much damage. The answering kills are going to be there here from Kwangdong Freaks.
And that's going to be a Drake for a Drake here.
Yeah, and it's an Ocean Soul, unfortunately.
Again.
Or fortunately, as Fate is going to get a nice little fear, but Karis will be able to close the distance. Charm lands over the wall. Orbit Deception gets the follow damage, but Fate should be able to make it underneath his turret. Oh, Shadow Surge not going to connect, and now Karis is a sitting duck. Is going to be the Zeri that locks down the kill. So despite the fact that it looked like Fate was caught out, it's Kwangdong Freaks that collapse faster. And now there are plates on the table. LM manages to turn into an Ari for a moment. And Shelly's going to get some work done here on this outer turret. Yeah, Keem was looking for that rotation over. Extendo Beam not going to do too much here. As Dudu on the Malphite, need to avoid grouping up if you are Kwangdong Freaks, as he does find Teddy into the backline. Super Mega Death Rocket is going to come through, but the cannon ulti is just massive. On Fleek's not going to be able to do anything, and now the resets are coming through. The resets from both characters in the Vex and the Viego. Yep, these V champions, they're the ones that this comp is about. Teddy gets ulted, and then the rest of his team destroys Humble Life.
This is exactly why. It's just hilarious to watch.
What are they doing?
Well, they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait for a Kennen to come up here and hope for the best. But just the animations together look hilarious.
The matching skins are just amazing.
Will they get the pick on the Keen? Because Keen has no idea.
I think they deserve it now after that demonstration. That was a true display of skill right there.
Keen just respectfully stands on the bottom side, and Fate's up here.
Oh, Fate's the one face checking, and here we go. They get it. But the dash cannon is there, and Keen is doing so much work. It's like, yes, you managed to kill the Vex. Congratulations. Now 4 of you are dead. Great pulverize there from Hoyt, but the flash out from Karis gets him to safety.
And we talked about how it is so hard to play Hanwha's comp from behind, but we didn't expect it to be this far behind this early.
Well, in they go. They're going to engage onto Teddy one more time. Let's see whether the counter engage is going to be there as Teddy ults, tries to get himself out, but it's On Fleek flashing forward. The Malphite's going to go down as well, but it's a 1-for-1 now. On Fleek's trying to get out. The rest of the Kwangdong Freaks want to get rid of this jungler so they can guarantee themselves a Baron. But Keen's going down low, and now you've got the Viego diving in. Just destroys Karis in front of 2 of his friends and then transforms into him and takes down the Jinx. Trying to get on in there, seeing whether they can start a fight before they start a Baron. Kind of respect it, as Hoyt looking for that engage opportunity, wants to get POG off this one. The Pulverize is going to land only onto the volley bear there on Dudu. Finds the backline. Sandy locks down the Vex now, as let's see whether they're going to be able to continue this one, as Elam is absolutely massive. More resets to come forward as he's turned into a Malphite. You don't necessarily have great regular buttons as that champion, so he's just going to wander this one out. Does have the Heartbreaker though, and is going to get over this wall now. Keen, no ulti anymore. And Kwangdong Freaks, once again, they win another fight as Cow versus Bear. We're fighting over vision on Fleek. Yeah, I don't think that seems a bit scary. And remember, this Viego can probably kill 5 people by himself.
All he has to do is kill one. And that's the end of it.
Point. Yeah, as Keen flashes into the backline, doesn't even press his ult button until very, very late, but goes golden. Or unless it was invisible, things were weird that happened just there, as both of the top laners have been taken down. The Cow also removed. Samdi's getting excited, and maybe they are doing it for bro, as Elam has turned into a Malphite. Once again, not super excited about that, and will now get knocked up. On Fleek now, looking to try and get rid of him as he goes down to his GA. Teddy still capable of fighting this one out, but Karis is at full health.
And this is the power of full health Zeri. Everybody's on low health bars. You're like, ooh, I really want to kill her, but can we kill her? The answer is probably not.
Yeah,
as he can turn this one right back around.
This
Teleport.
is Soul that's going to get denied by Life Esports as well.
If they take it, because I don't know they do. Fate teleports in. He's got his Zonias. He's coming for this.
Oh, good.
Here we go.
No Shadow Surge available as Vista is going to dive on top of him. He goes golden while he waits for the exhaust here. Flame Chompers go down as well, but it is going to be the Ocean Soul lockdown. Ulti forward from OnFleet, but doesn't get too much value here as Dudu tries to get the engage. The skate over the wall from Teddy. Jet Set Radio Future is the way out of any bad situation, apparently, and Keen is going to Lightning Surge his way across the mid lane to safety as well. He teleport from Karis to get him back to the rest of his teammates.
They got
alive.
in.
They're wrapping their way around.
They got in here. That's more than I thought we could say. They actually were able to get all the way onto the pit itself.
Yeah, Extendo Beam slows down Dudu just a little bit. Not taking a lot of damage here, as we can see.
Keen's got flash, but again, he wants to wait for that Malphite ult, waiting for them to pull the trigger first.
Yeah, more Extendo Beams as Hoyt. I think he wants to start something here. The charm is going to go wide now as the burst damage is layering in. Teddy presses the ult button, so does Dudu. But Teddy's still almost at full health. Karis gets over the wall, but he's trying to get out, not go back in, as Kwangdong Freaks are smashing the team fight. This is going to be the last one. They waited and waited and waited, but eventually they were rewarded. And Kwangdong Freaks will march down whichever lane they decide and finish off this game and get one step closer towards playoffs.
Teleport here to try to shut Vista down. And Keen, just not quite able to track him down there. Didn't expect him to be running towards blue side. But yeah, that is going to be it. One step closer to playoffs. 7 out of the 8 they need. If they get 8, if they win their next series, they are guaranteed, of course, the playoff spot. So this is halfway there right now. The expectation was they'd win this one and the next one. And finally, they have closed it out.
Well, Vista's being frustrating here, trying to buy as much time as possible. Of course, you need minions to try and take down turrets in the majority of situations, but these turrets just evaporate. There is no way that they can do anything here as Dudu goes in, goes golden, looks pretty cool. On Fleek looks pretty similar as he goes golden also, as I really do like the fashion show that we got. The next is going to go down, and that is going to mean the end of that game.
Well, they went for it, and they could not lock Teddy down.
They couldn't. Fate did a lot of damage in that game. The Vex certainly working out very, very well into the Ahri, even in the early laning phase, which is where we haven't seen Vex have as much success in the matchup.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the PUG interview translation, joined by Fate Ellen from KDF. You guys now have 80% of chance to make playoffs. How do you feel? It was not a clean victory, but still, we've been losing a lot, so the win itself means a lot for us. Yeah, indeed. What about you, Ellen? Yeah, we were on a losing streak, so I'm happy that we ended our losing streak today. So Fate, I want to ask about your LeBlanc play in game number 1. You had some phenomenal actions and plays, and you were able to even get a solo kill early on. When I was laning, I was able to win trades, and Ahri was so low, so I could just immediately just punish that. Speaking of solo kills, you currently have 15 solo kills in the LCK Spring, 4th place in the LCK in total. I think I got to play champions that's really good at making picks and finding those kills. Game number 1, Zeri was able to pop off with the power of the Cloud Drake, and it was actually a go-to B1 pick for Teddy. Is that his own opinion? Was he kind of vocal about the Zeri first pick? Well, I mean, Teddy is good at everything, but Zeri itself is really kind of tricky to deal with whenever we play it or the opponent plays it. So yeah, we thought first pick Zeri would be a good option. How did Teddy react to the first pick Zeri? Nothing much, He was quite quiet. Game number 1, it was a very easy win for KDF, but you guys kind of dropped the ball in game number 2. So what kind of mindset did you bring for game 3, and what kind of feedback did you have after losing the second one? Well, just like, you know, early on, we didn't have prio, so we kind of wanted to avoid that in game 3. And that was what we focused on. I guess they were looking for some more action for game 3. And Fate, in all 3 games, Ari was first picked by the red side team. Ari is a very high priority team right now, but Ari is actually really hard to execute correctly. Fate, what do you think? Well, Ari has become a meta pick like recently, so some people doesn't really have that high proficiency, and also overall, you know, I think Ari actually requires a Ari-centric comp, so that's why it's kind of a, sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. And also in game 3, we had 3 bans towards the mid lane, and then you decided to play Vex, and the synergy together with Kennen was really good. The Yordle synergy was on point. Well, it was not like playing together with Kennen. It was not the combo we were looking for. We were just like trying to counter the opponent's kind of play. It was not the synergy that we were looking for, but it worked pretty well. I think, yeah, the centerpiece of Game 3 was actually Elim's Viego. You were having 11-0-11 Viego KDA, and you picked up 13 out of 13 votes for that Viego play. And that was your first Viego game in the LCK. I did play Viego a lot in solo queue, but I actually thought Viego is like bad. But recently, watching other regions, you know, LPL, I thought, yeah, Viego might be good, so I wanted to give it a shot. Then, are you satisfied with your Viego play today? And is it gonna be one of your go-to pick in the future? I would say it wasn't bad, and in the future, I will be able to try a lot of different picks. And then, on Fleek, you know, played volley into Viego, and Kenyon was also able to pull off a great performance on Volibear earlier today as well. So what do you think about that pick? He's really strong in the early game, you know. That's why it has become a freaking pick right now. And your very last match after regular split will be up against Leaf Sandbox. What's your mindset for that series? So, I was able to beat On Fleek, my former teammate. And next up is on Kurako. What about you, Ellen? Same, you know. I beat Closer. I'm gonna beat Closer, my former teammate, in the upcoming match. A very interesting storyline between 2 teams, and this will be the end of the interview from Fate Ellen, and I'm gonna pass it back to Valdez and Chronicler. Thank you.